You can see a photograph. In the center is an item marked item 10 with that pH positive. So this is marking a blood stain that was positive for the presumptive blood test. And then this is on the rear passenger seat back. And then item number 11, which is a little bit out of the photograph, is more in the door frame of the vehicle. And that was also positive for the presence of blood.
And so in this photograph, Exhibit 178, what we're seeing on the left side as you're looking at it is what?
That's the door frame, or the very edge of the rear passenger seat, on the seat back side.
If we can go then to Exhibit 179. Describe this for the jurors, please.
These are two stains that are on the rear passenger seat bottom that have both been marked as items 14 and 15, and that pH positive, indicating that the blood test was positive.
It appears these are in the same areas where we saw that strap, item 9, sitting before?
Yes, the strap is right next to it.
And then if we can go to Exhibit 180, describe this, please.
This is an item marked as BCA item 16. This was on the rear passenger seat back, and this again was an area that was positive for the presence of blood.
And Exhibit 181.
This is a photograph of the seat back as well, and you can see two stickers. Item 10 is an area that was positive for the presence of blood, and item 18 is also marking what I believed was possibly a blood stain. I didn't do the presumptive blood test while processing the squad at this particular time due to how small the stain was.
And then finally, Exhibit 182. Now the strap has been removed and we see some other items here, correct?
Correct. This was after the strap was removed, and this denotes the 4 locations on the rear passenger seat bottom where blood was indicated, and I collected samples from each of those 4 areas.
So as we've seen then, there were, by my calculations, 7 different blood-like stains, 6 of which presumptively tested positive as blood, correct?
There were 7 that presumptively tested positive for blood and 1 additional, so for a total of 8.
8. And did you then, well, just describe for the jury where those generally were located in the squad car?
They were all on the rear passenger side of the vehicle.
And did you conduct further, well, let me ask you this. Did you take samples of those back to the BCA with you?
Yes, I collected a sample from each of those locations. They all were packaged up individually, and then they were sent for DNA testing.
And was DNA testing done on that?
Yes, they were.
Who did that?
On all of them. I did the DNA testing on those samples.
And when you tested each of those, did you follow the standard procedures necessary for your lab and DNA testing?
Yes, I did.
And what was the result of that testing?
From all 8 of those locations, I obtained a single source male DNA profile that matches George Floyd. And again, this DNA profile would not be expected to occur more than once among unrelated individuals in the world population.
So that was George Floyd's blood?
Yes, essentially.